This segment is sponsored by the Geller Law Group. Families come in all shapes and sizes, and an often occurrence in families is divorce in the new year.
Yeah, couples on the rocks typically want to get through the holidays and then start the process come January. So here to help you prepare, if this all sounds a little too familiar, is Maria Simon and Alice Ahearn from the all-female Geller Law Group. Ladies, so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Who knew that January was a busy time for this?
Well, like you said, a lot of families are trying to get through the holidays with as little stress as possible. And this is a good time to start taking into account an inventory of what they're going to look for in the new year.
So you have some suggestions for maybe people who are heading into this for 2023, starting with that support network, right?
Exactly. Who's your support network? So you're looking for, do you have a mental health provider? Do you have a therapist? Have you started looking into a lawyer? That's always a good thing, just so that you can stay protected. It's not about jumping into court, but just so you know, what does this mean? Also, do you need childcare? For so many working families, maybe that's something that you have to start thinking about in the future, as well as, you know, looking into your finances, taking inventory of that, as well as, is someone going to have to move or move out?
Yeah, and Alice, you talked about Maria talked about the finances. Like, you really need to have like a spreadsheet and get that in order, right?
We usually suggest people at least start working on their spreadsheet, look at what do you have in real estate, what your retirement accounts are. Everyone has that old retirement account from a job years ago. Where is it? How much is in it? So we ask people to just start looking at that, start making the spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least, you know, start getting your finances in order.
And it's a good time to do it too, right? Because you're getting all your year to end statements.
True.
So if things are coming in the mail, take a picture of it, scan it, save it, archive it. Even if you're not the one who normally does the taxes, it's still just good to have that on hand.
What about, sometimes we say new year, new you want to go out and buy a new car or maybe change your jobs. If you're thinking of getting a divorce, is this not the time to do that?
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. You don't, no, you don't want to incur any big new debt. So while it's really tempting to go out and buy the new car with the big bow on it, this is not the time to do it. Also, not changing jobs. You want to have some stability showing what your income is.
Gotcha.
Okay. Another big don't is, even if your spouse has said, let's see other people, let's start dating, even if you've started separating, wait until you've talked to a lawyer about that. There can be a lot of consequences that people aren't aware of.
We were surprised about that when we read that, and especially, and I don't know about the other states, but Maryland, they still have that year that you have to be separated. I know it got sped up during the pandemic, but like, you've got a year of separation and you can't date, but you talk to a lawyer first before you do anything.
How that is looked at in Virginia is different than in DC, and it can be different in Maryland as well. And so you want to just have a plan in place before you jump into dating.
Never even thought of that, that's for sure.
No, in the social life going on with that, we were also surprised by what you say for posting on social media. What should and shouldn't we be doing?
So we always just recommend that, you know, think about it, think twice before you put anything out on any kind of social media. You know, be very careful about what you put out if anything's negative. Also, if you put out positive things, just think about, you know, whatever statements you make, are you going to be comfortable, you know, testifying to those, saying, oh yes, I meant that, or no, I was just exaggerating what was going on.
Like, he's such a great father to my kids? Is that the... Okay.
Exactly, and now you're saying, well, no, he's not. Like, why'd you put that on social media before? And we all know how that feels. But also that goes to what you're putting in your texts, what you're putting in your emails. It really is thinking globally about what you're putting out there.
Wow. So many things out there. We always tell our kids to be careful what they put on social media. Now it's like, we really need to pay attention to what we're doing. Any other tips before we go, like, as they're, you know, even it's emotional time too, that you would say as they're going into the new year?
Well, you know, our goal is not to litigate. For the majority of our cases, we don't take them to trial, or they never even get to court. So at the Geller Law Group, where we are a female-owned law firm, our goal is to help you get through this with dignity and respect, and hopefully come out with a amicable co-parenting relationship, right? Because even if you have a 2-year-old or an 18-year-old, if you've been married to your spouse, you're gonna be with this person in some way, shape, or form for the rest of your life. So that is really one of our goals in trying to get, you know, through and help you through this very emotional situation.
Yeah, it's
We also want people. We also want people to be thinking about creative ways to resolve their divorce. We do collaborative divorce mediation, which are much gentler options than what people traditionally think about in divorce.
They have all the expertise right now.
Thank you, ladies.
Yes. You can get more information from the Geller Law Group by heading to gellerlawgroup.com, or you can call 703-687-6188 Again, the number to call is 703-687-6188.
And coming up here on Great Day Washington.